Did you read Uncle Eno's Bad Day?
I don't think so. I don't think I've read that one yet.
Uncle Eno's, I think it's in a different, in the other collection. It's just about a guy who's running out of gas and he's panicking about it, and he ends up in this forlorn little two-lane highway rundown gas station and is so relieved that he's finally going to get gas that he can't stop telling the gas station attendant how happy he was and how surprised he was. And he made a big deal out of it. And the gas station attendant turned out to be somebody, and this is based partly on a real experience, who was handicapped physically and mentally, who then told him a very, very dramatic story at the pump. And he wondered, why is this guy telling me this very dramatic and sad story? And he came away thinking, or I came away thinking, he's telling me not to sweat the small stuff. So maybe that's what the theme was. But I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. And it wasn't until afterward that I thought that it might have that as a theme. But what was interesting, and this brings up another thing about writing stories, is how sometimes you make things up in the most unplanned way. I remember when I first wrote the story, I thought, it's not a story, it needs something else. Well, the little story within the story was about his uncle who had backed his backhoe over a child, his own grandchild. And that's how he told me not to sweat the small stuff. But without the grandfather or the uncle, I don't recall which, in the story, it wasn't a story. So I scratched my head and thought, well, I've got an anecdote here, but it's not really a story. How can I make it a story? I put the grandfather on the front step outside the gas station. And then he was like this silent character in the story, and then finally it became a story.